at the movies with Tim
Oh
Sika, and here
no,
he comes.
the pressure is on as always. Oh
You
no.
don't feel any pressure. Who are you kidding? Who are you
well,
fooling?
well, I can fool people. Yeah. So yeah.
I love this picture that we have for at the movies with Tim Sika with everyone set up on the beach watching a
Yeah.
beach movie. I really want to do that. I saw a beach movie in Hawaii on Oahu, Waikiki Beach. They had
Ooh.
this big thing set up. There were so many people though, but I would love it if we had good enough weather at our beaches in California where we could have some kind of beach movie event. That would be so fun.
Yeah, that would be very,
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah, I know everybody looks like they're relaxed and having a good
I
time, and
know.
there's an atmosphere there, and yeah, I
But
know.
here we'd all be bundled up and this wind would still be whipping into our faces, the salt spray slapping us in the pink cheeks as we tried to hear a movie that the roar of the waves would overtake.
Yeah.
So no
Well,
can
I
do.
hear though we're doing a lot better than a lot of these other states that are like getting like smacked with these
Yeah, true.
intense heat, heat things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
rain
but
and whatever.
yeah, my sister who
Mhm.
lives in Ohio, it's like she's telling me like it's just god awful there.
Right.
So, anyway,
You were you raised in Ohio?
yes, I was born
Okay.
in Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
Yes, on the lake, right on the
You,
lake. And
that
it's
sounds
funny
pretty.
because yeah, yeah, it was a nice place to grow up in. But what
Mhm.
was interesting that it would get in the winter, it would get really, really cold, and because
Mhm.
Cleveland is literally on Lake Erie, you'd
Mhm.
have these things like you'd have the temperature, which would be like I don't know, 20 degrees, but then they'd have this thing called the wind chill factor.
Yeah.
And the wind chill factor would, I mean, sometimes it would get as cold, it would go as below as like 60 degrees below zero, which is like something else, man. If
No,
you, I mean,
thank you.
yeah, yeah,
Is that
yeah.
my husband grew up in Michigan. I know
Oh,
Ohio and
similar.
Michigan, I know. But is that where he says your eyelashes kind of can stick together
Oh,
and
yeah.
you have like the crusty ice at the nostril?
Yeah,
Like is
yeah,
it
yeah,
like
yeah,
chilly?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a couple jobs where I had to work outside in those kind of temperatures, but I
Uh,
liked it because I love the cold, and for some reason,
yeah,
obviously it
can
was
do.
survival. But no, I can deal well in the cold. It kind of I like cold better than hot anyway. Hot makes me want to just like curl up into a ball and go to sleep, but cold, you're alive when you're freezing. I mean. When you're roasting, you kind of just go, yeah, whatever. But when you're cold, you're alive. So anyway,
As a native Californian, hats off to
yeah,
you because I
yeah,
saw that it was -17 on the
yeah.
temperature on the car dashboard, and I thought it was a mistake. Like, there's 0% chance that could be right, and my husband's like, "No, that's Michigan. That's how
That's
it's like."
Michigan. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Michigan and Ohio are
Mhm.
very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're both by lakes. Yeah, too. So anyway,
Oh, well, let's jump into it because you've got this movie that everyone is wanting to know about.
yeah, the Naked Gun. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the Naked Gun. Yeah, wacky, silly, stupid comedy. But is it funny? That's the first question on everybody's mind, right? Is it funny?
Sure.
And well, yes and no.
Okay.
Okay, this is like the fourth film in the Naked Gun franchise,
Mhm.
which was a spin-off of what I thought was an achingly hilarious TV series called Police Squad, which was this American crime comedy television series that was broadcast on the ABC network in 1982. And it was created by David Zucker, Jim Abrahams, and Jerry Zucker, who did the equally funny feature film Airplane. Did you ever see Airplane?
Yeah.
Kim, yeah, yeah. Well, okay. The Police Squad starred. Well, Leslie Nielsen was in Airplane too, but he also starred in Police Squad, which came later as this Sergeant Detective Lieutenant Frank Drebin, right? And it was a series so funny that spoofed police procedurals. They only filmed 6 episodes, and it was canceled. I don't know why, low ratings, obviously, but in my opinion, they were all these individual 25-minute comedy segments were just perfection. I mean, the scripts were gems, and they starred Leslie Nielsen, who was Before he appeared in Airplane and these movies, he was considered a very serious and grave actor, but he had this ability to come across as gut bustingly funny when given the right material. Anyway, the combination of the scripts, which were each about 24 minutes in duration, they were supremely tight and taut comedy scripts combined with the casting of Leslie Nielsen yielded comedy genius. This movie, this Naked Gun movie, and again, what's funny to one person may be dull as dishwater to another person. It casts one of my favorite actors, Liam Neeson, in the
Yeah.
role of Detective Frank Drebin Jr., who's just as dumb and silly and stupid and bumbling as his father. Uh, and the perfunctory plot, which is just an excuse to hang a bunch of sporadically amusing comedy bits and jokes and gags on, has Frank Drebin Jr., played by Liam Neeson, lamely attempting to follow in his father's footsteps to prevent the shutting down of police squad. That's the premise. And
I have to say, I was really surprised by the casting of Liam Neeson in this role.
yeah, well, I think, I mean, Liam Neeson as a replacement for Leslie Nielsen, I don't think always works.
Mhm.
I mean, he's a great actor, but I think, in my opinion, he lacks whatever that little something extra that Leslie Nielsen had that made the original TV show so special. He does his best, but so many of his line readings, the comic bits, the bits that he's supposed to be selling,
Mhm.
fall flat. And there are times when he seems to be having difficulty delivering his lines. I don't know if that was deliberate. It might have been, but I just thought he seemed a little out of place to me. Anyway,
Okay.
but that said, and unfortunately, Kim, the bane of we critics is to compare and contrast. Compared to
Mhm.
the Police Squad TV series and comparing Neeson to Nielsen, this movie, in my opinion, falls short on the laughs. It's not a consistently funny movie, although there are a number of bits. I didn't laugh much while I was watching the movie, but when I think about the film, I kind of chuckle. And in retrospect, there's some bits which, when they come to mind, I guess are sufficiently amusing. Pamela Anderson, she's in the poster there as the film's femme fatale. She has the funniest bit in a scene where she scats singing jazz in a nightclub. It's just really, really, I mean, it's really, really funny. It's a classic comedy moment.
Mhm.
But bottom line, I'm down the middle on this movie. The movie only half works. It only half worked for me because most of the jokes just didn't land. And comedy that's unfunny is like,
Mhm.
it's excruciating to sit through. So unfortunately, if it were up to me, I say skip the Naked Gun and go seek out Police Squad instead. But I'm in the
Okay.
minority here. This movie's getting rave reviews.
Yeah.
So, you know, for what it's worth, yeah. The other thing too is, it's a short. The film's listed as like 92 minutes, but it actually ends at the 75-minute point. They really pad out the ending. I
Mhm.
think if they took what was here and condensed it into like a 30-minute movie, I think it would be really, really funny. But it just, so much of it just drags. And
Yeah,
when you're
that's a bummer.
when a movie is supposed to make you laugh and you're just sitting going, huh?
Oh,
You know,
no.
yeah. So that was my overall reaction to the Naked Gun. Sorry, I love Liam Neeson though. I do. I don't know why they cast him.
Another movie that's getting, good reviews, mostly, but although Michael Snyder just, ripped it apart, is this
Really?
one. This is,
Ooh,
Happy Gilmore 2.
I didn't. You know what? I didn't see Happy Gilmore 2, and I'll tell you why I didn't see Happy Gilmore 2. Happy Gilmore was. I barely got through that.
Mhm.
And then, I mean, I don't know if this was a mistake, but I read the Daily Beast's review, and I thought, and this was from a critic I generally agree with, and I thought, this guy sounds like me ripping into the movie if I had seen it. So I just
Well,
skipped it. I skipped it. Have you
I've
seen it?
I've had a lot of family time recently. My mom had a medical issue, and so
Right, right.
we've
How's
been.
she doing, by the way?
Oh, thank you for asking. She's
Yeah,
doing much better, but the doctor told her yesterday that
yeah.
she has to have someone with her 24/7 for the next 3 weeks, and she
Oh,
was not happy
geez.
about that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be either.
Well, we
Oh,
were at my sister's house, so I had my kids, the nieces and nephews, that are all, like, they're in junior high and high school, and, mostly, and so everyone's on the couch and, kinda hanging
yeah,
out, and
yeah.
they turn on Happy Gilmore too, and I'm so
Uh-huh.
tired because I've been kind of burning the candle at both ends. And I fell asleep and I wake up to my entire family watching Happy Gilmore 2 cackling. Like they
Yeah.
are just laughing up a storm.
Yeah.
There are a
Yeah.
lot of parts of this movie, the parts that I was awake for, that are stupid, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of parts too. There are just enough parts that are classic, funny stuff that like it'll be the Caddyshack of my kids' generation.
Really?
They will be
Wow.
quoting this movie and
Wow. You
referencing it. Yeah, it's
you made
just
me want to see it now. I mean,
it's not good. Like there's so
yeah.
much stupid. It's so stupid
Yeah.
that but it just becomes one of those cult classics. I think
Yeah.
that this will be that.
Well,
Mhm.
that's kind of, that's Adam Sandler's shtick.
Yeah.
About a year or two ago, I saw him live in concert. He did like 3 hours of what to me amounted to Happy Gilmore stuff. But and I after about an hour, and when I finally let go and I kind of got into what he was doing, I
Mhm.
thought a lot of his comedy was, yes, it's characteristically stupid and silly,
Yeah.
but I thought it was kind of brilliant. And then I probably should see this movie. I probably should see it. Maybe I'd be, with your family on it. I don't know. But yeah, Michael Snyder didn't like it. Huh?
Now, I mentioned this that who was there watching it because it was the teenagers in the group,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
so they're all finding it really funny, and they know there's so many cameos of famous people
Yeah.
all
Okay. Well,
throughout
it's
this movie, and
you're
some
you,
of
you're
them are pretty
making me want
classic.
you're
I don't
making me
know.
want to see it. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, maybe if I
Well,
can
it's
make the
easy.
time this
It's
week.
easily accessible, and it is on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it I'm not telling Tim Sika to watch this Happy Gilmore too. By all means, don't. But I'm just saying the kids thought it was really funny, and I found myself laughing in a couple spots.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know,
Well, that's
so
something.
there
Yeah.
you go.
That's like my review of The Naked Gun. I found myself
Yeah,
laughing in a couple spots, but that's
laughing
about
in a
it.
couple
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
Okay, your next movie is called Sketch. When I looked up the movie poster, I
Yeah.
saw this was from 2024, but did it just get released or something?
Yeah, I think it had, I don't quote me on this, but I think it premiered at a film festival probably in late 2024. That's not to say that this is a bad movie. It's not. I mean, this is
Mhm.
a genuinely seriously made family fantasy comedy adventure with some genuine and serious bite to it. It's kind
Okay.
of a rarity for family films, but this one's about a widowed father of two, played by Tony Hale of the TV show Arrested Development, who's struggling to kind of help his two children, a boy and a girl, played by newcomers Bianca Bell and Hugh Lawrence, come to terms and find emotional closure with the death of their mother. So it's a serious movie. And the girl in the family, the young girl, she deals with her emotions and her grief by drawing her feelings in a notebook, hence the title Sketch, which one day accidentally gets dropped into this magical pool, which results in the neighborhood becoming terrorized by these strange monsters that this girl has drawn in the notebook. Kind of dark stuff. It's like I don't know, Freud, the id or something manifesting in this kind of like scary way. But in my estimation, Kim, this is a wonderful film for children of all
Okay.
ages, and their parents, that deals with issues of death, loss, grief, and the emotions that accompany those things. How it's okay to feel some really dark stuff when you're grieving, but that there are ways to deal with that, ways of managing one's emotions where they can be individually processed and in such a manner where nobody gets hurt. So lots of cinematic, I don't know, snap, crackle, and pop here too, in the depiction of these creatures that were drawn by the little girl to deal with her own feelings. I love kids' movies that are like this, that they're intelligent, that never ever play down to them, and this one's got an added dose of astringency to kind of counteract any potential what I call treacle factor,
Mhm.
usually omnipresent in family movies of this kind. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is one of the best family movies to come along the pike in years. I
Wow.
really recommend it. It's a good one. It's a good one. Surprisingly so. And it's funny you mentioned the 2024. I saw that too, and I thought, oh God, is this something they just shelved and now they're trying to like make some money off of? I was surprised how good it was. Really good.
Okay.
Really good.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And your next movie is called Together.
Yes. Together. Okay. All right. Okay. This is a
Uh-oh.
body horror relationship picture starring the real life acting couple, Dave Franco and Allison Brie. They're in the poster there. Both really great here as a couple on the edges in a barely held together relationship. It's a very frayed one when the movie begins, and who literally go at it toe to toe, arm to arm, body part to body part, in arguably you're going to go, what, Tim? Arguably, I thought this was the best horror movie of the year. And one that was not
Oh,
only enjoyable, if you can even say that about a body horror movie, ick, right? Because there's a lot of ick stuff in this movie, but also one that was in turn scary and kind of perversely funny. All due to the way in which this movie, which is really ridiculous when you think about it, what happens in this movie, you're going, yeah, give me a break. But the way it was directed, the way it was acted, and the way it was photographed elevated it. This was one of the most beautifully shot horror movies I can recall seeing in some time because because a lot of it takes place in nature. But anyway, it poses questions about things like, well, who are we really when we're in a relationship? Do we lose our identity when we're in a relationship? Does being in a relationship mean melding one person into two? I don't think the movie in any way, shape, or form resolves or even like deeply investigates these questions. Instead, we're kind of left wondering about and pondering those questions more than having them answered for us, which I think is all to the good, actually. I don't think they needed to do that because it's implied. But yeah, Franco and Brie play a couple who move away from the city to the countryside in order to fix their relationship, only to encounter this weird supernatural force, which let's just say, compels them to merge, literally. Uh, this movie is gross without being disgusting. It's entertaining without being repellent. It's thought-provoking without depressing the hell out of you. And it's a lot of fun. I just had a great time at the movies watching Together. It's funny. I think I read somewhere. I don't know if you read this, but where Dave Franco and Allison Brie said, if you and your significant other go to see this movie and then you break up afterwards, that meant you were never meant to be together.
oh,
So it's that kind of movie, but I just thoroughly enjoyed Together, and I recommend it. Strangely enough, I found it great fun. Can you imagine a body horror movie that was actually fun? Well,
no.
go see Together and see if you agree. Really, it's
Okay.
fun. I think Nikki Medoro would
She'd
love
dig
this
it.
movie.
Yeah. As a
She
matter of
would
fact,
totally dig it.
I was just thinking I need to text her and tell her you love this one and put it on her list.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
this is right up her alley for sure. I thought
Oh,
I was going to be totally grossed out and repelled by it, and there is some of that. I mean,
yeah.
when their bodies start, and then there's an image where they're like just joining. That's the most. Oh God. Oh. Yeah, anyway, but it was sort of like palpable ick. I don't know how to say it. It
If you
didn't.
say so.
Yeah, it didn't gross me out, but yet it had the effect it was supposed to have, on I think on the viewer, obviously on me.
Mhm.
But it was great fun and it was great entertainment and so well acted by this. I don't know if two actors who were not married maybe necessarily could have
Pulled it off.
pulled it off. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, yeah, it's
Are their
great. I loved it.
bodies are their bodies melding together in that
Well,
poster?
Uh oh,
That's what it looks like.
yeah, that's the beginning of
Yeah.
they in that scene, they're in this cave, they fall into this cave, which there's a whole nother thing behind that cave, but and they fall asleep. And then when they wake up, they realize that their arms are kind of stuck together. And it's like there's this they don't know if it's like mold or what the hell. And they try to separate it, and it's really kind of gross. I think they showed this scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. They showed this scene on Stephen Colbert about a
Yeah.
week ago when Dave Franco was on, and it's like, ooh, that looks disgusting.
super gross.
Yeah, super
Uh,
gross, but but I think what made it palpable for me and tolerable was that it had a sense of humor about it. So this whole notion of like, you know, being, when you're in a relationship, like to what extent do you lose your individuality? Do you have any individuality? And they visually represent this by like, joining.
sure.
There's a scene where well, I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, what the hell? This is not, I'm not giving anything away, but there is a scene where they have sex that yeah, you got
Gives a
to
new
see it.
meaning to when two
Gives a
become
new
one.
meaning to what it means to have sex with your partner. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes. Anyway, it's
All
good.
right.
Yeah.
Tim's classic movie wreck of the week is Ordinary People.
Ordinary People. Do you know it's 45 years old this year? Came
What?
out in 1980. I know, right? Did you see it when it first came out? No, probably
No,
not.
I was
Yeah,
too
I
little.
did. I did. I got some years on you, but anyway, yeah. Ordinary People for me is a near perfect motion picture that works only as great movies do on a number of levels. For one, it's actor Robert Redford's directorial debut. It stars Mary Tyler Moore and Donald Sutherland. They play this married couple with a son, played by Timothy Hutton, and a family who are surviving the accidental drowning and the death of their older son. It's a stellar adaptation of the novel, the Judith Guest novel, which I read. I think in a lot of ways it's better than the novel. Timothy Hutton in an yeah, that scene that you're showing, it's such a great scene. There's so many great scenes in this movie, but he won an Oscar for his performance. It was his debut film. He plays a surviving suicidal son in this family who's consumed with guilt over the drowning death of his brother in a boating accident, which is compounded by the resentment his mother, played by Mary Tyler Moore in a monumental performance, directs at him for having survived. I
Ugh.
think she kind of secretly wishes, although she never ever really says outright, because she just can't even be with this thought that maybe she kind of wished he had died,
Oh,
ra-
that's
rather
horrible.
rather than her eldest son, who was her favorite. So it's an emotionally complex movie anyway, and it's an astonishing one. 45 years later, it holds up beautifully, and it's about, to me, it's about the inability to communicate, basically, with the focus in this story on wealthy white suburbanites
Mm.
who struggle to conceal the personal anger and rage and fear that eats away at them, and in which their wealth and their prosperity help them to avoid facing. When you've got a lot of money, you generally, you always have excuses to go deep, and the money takes care of whatever it is that you're having a problem with, and it's easy to sort of look the other way. Anyway, so many great scenes, great performances. Mary Tyler Moore is towering in this film. She's brilliant in her characterization of the mother, whose own like inner misery is withheld until her soul crushing final sequence where she emotionally breaks down. Donald Sutherland as her husband delivers the most underrated and arguably his best screen performance of
Mm.
that year, that decade, really, as a frustrated husband and a father who gradually becomes distance from his wife and depressed by his inability to communicate with her. It's a masterpiece of nuance, really, and it's a performance that should be studied in acting classes everywhere, in my opinion. And
Wow.
Timothy Hutton is the surviving son who attempts suicide and who makes his screen debut here. What a performance in a film that won the top Academy Awards in 1980 for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor for Hutton, and Best Adapted Screenplay. It's a must-see movie if you've never seen it, and it's now streaming on Pluto TV and Prime Video, I believe. But I think you can see it for free on Pluto. It's just a great movie. Have you ever seen it?
I have seen it. It's been a while, but I have seen this movie. I
What was your
remember
reaction?
the
Yeah.
feeling of sadness.
It's very sad. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's very sad, but it does end. It's one of those movies that's sad that ends on some kind of hope that maybe, things will work out. It's going to require a lot of work, a lot of inner work, to work out. But oh yeah, it is a sad film. Yeah. If you're in a sad mood, it's a great one to see.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about Mary Tyler Moore and how funny she is, and what
Yeah,
a, what a great comedic actress. And it reminds me
truly.
kind of Robin Williams, where you have these funny
Yeah,
people
yeah,
that, when dropped
yeah,
into these
yeah,
dramatic, highly
yeah,
dramatic roles,
yeah,
find it within themselves
yeah.
to take these challenges and just soar.
Yeah, I always, I've talked about this a lot. People get sick of me talking about it, but I always believe that the really, really great comedians, when given an opportunity to sort of shine dramatically, are can be brilliant
Mhm.
dramatic actors as well. Case in point here, case in point, Robin Williams in a number of his performances. Jack Lemmon was a comic actor, and but then he plays the out of control alcoholic in Days of Wine and Roses, and
Yeah.
what's the movie, the China Syndrome. Brilliant,
Mhm.
brilliant dramatic performances, but a very, very funny man. I think maybe, yeah, I'm not a psychiatrist, but maybe a lot of comedians have a lot of inner pain that they that they work with their comedy in order to sort of keep it under control, the pain, whatever that they're
Mhm.
experiencing. I don't know, but yeah, I agree with what you said, is what I'm trying to say.
Dillette writes, Mary Tyler Moore was such a B word in that movie that she was brilliant.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's funny, she it's interesting because she never saw the role as a bitch, and I
Mhm.
never did either. I always felt for her because, yeah, she just didn't know where to go. She didn't know how to manage her emotions. She didn't know. She and her the surviving son in the movie, the characters that they played, they were really very, very much alike. And it was
Mhm.
like she had difficulty like seeing that in her son, that she had guilt over. I mean, I always felt for her. I mean, yeah, I don't
Mhm.
know if she was a bitch. I think she was just deeply troubled, but that's just my opinion.
Rhonda says, Tim, I'm black, and this movie is totally my family, just upper class suburban stuff. My
Uh,
mom is totally Mary's character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, my sister said that
Mhm.
too after
Yeah.
she saw it. She said, "Hey, that's mom." And I'm going,
Oh
"Nah, come
God.
on, that's not mom." But anyway,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, people can relate, yeah, obviously, to the
yeah.
stuff that's dramatized in this movie.
Wes,
But yeah,
I interrupted you. Wes
no, no,
wanted me
no.
to ask you. He says Leslie Nielsen's tombstone says February 26th, February 11th of 1926 to November 28th of 2010. Let her rip on it, and people leave toy airplanes and fart noise makers on it.
I
That's
love
really
that.
funny. Yeah,
I didn't know that. Oh, that's
that's
perfect.
hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
Wes also wants me to ask you if you ever saw Sordid Lives.
No, I'm familiar
Hmm.
with the movie, but it's one
Yeah.
that's just for whatever reason bypassed me. Should I see it? Sorted Lines, Wes?
I don't know. Wes, let us know just
Yeah, let
in the
us know.
comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dillette loved Ordinary People,
Yay,
and
Delat.
Rhonda says saw it again a few years ago. It's an amazing movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Tammy says I enjoy a good stupid movie now and then.
Of course. Who
Sometimes,
doesn't? Who doesn't
yeah.
enjoy a good stupid movie?
Rhonda does not. She said I have chat friends that make me laugh harder than any Adam Sandler film.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? You might not be an Adam Sandler fan, but I hope is everyone has at least one that they thought was funny, and mine is 50 First Dates. I really love that movie.
Yeah, yeah, I
Mhm.
did too. Yeah, because I think, yeah, for some reason he was still Adam Sandler, but for some reason he was easier to take in that movie, I thought
Yeah.
too. Yeah. But I don't know if anybody watching has ever seen any of his dramatic performances, but he knocked it out of the park in a movie a few years ago called Uncut Gems. He
Oh,
was he was he was astonishing. He did
okay.
you saw the Adam Sandler persona, but the performance, and I mean, this guy, he what a mess he. I recommend it to anybody who wants to see him doing different kind of fare where he totally shines. It's called Uncut Gems, the
Okay.
movie, and
That's
he's
worth
great
checking
in it.
out.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
not the happiest movie you're going to see. In fact, it's
Yeah.
kind of depressing, but
Yeah.
he's astonishing. Yeah.
Wes says Sordid Lives has Leslie Jordan as a drag queen in this movie.
Oh,
So,
Sordid Lives. I've made
mhm,
a note of it.
okay.
Another one to add to the list.
Add it to the list. Add it to
Yeah.
the long, long Tim
The
Sika list.
long Tim Sika list. Yeah, forget Tim Sika. Watch it. You know what I'm finally catching up to after all these years, Kim? I'm watching I'm tuning into Deep Space Nine. Have you ever seen it?
Deep
Star
Space.
Trek Deep Space
I
Nine?
I don't, they all blend together because I
Yes.
have sci-fi people at my house, and,
Yeah.
there's often a
Yeah.
Star Trek, one of them
Yeah. Uh-huh.
popping through, so
Right.
I'm sure that I have seen parts of it, yeah.
Well, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm binging that, and I know it's like 30 years old, that series,
Mhm.
but that's kind of what I'm doing now to sort of clear my palate. But I know there's so much TV I need to catch up on still. I had it under my belt for a little bit there, but now it's like, yeah, forget it, no time.
BA BA Ware says Jim Carrey and Adam Candler are both getting tiring to watch in comedies. Their
Mm.
slapstick gets a little less funny every time you see a new movie. It might be that their
Yeah.
comedy doesn't hold up over time. I don't know.
Could be,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well, and like we
yeah.
were saying earlier, comedy is it's so personal.
Mhm.
Something that somebody may find hilarious, yeah, somebody else may go, "What? What's for lunch? I don't know what this is."
You're getting a lot of love for Deep Space Nine, so,
Oh yeah, yeah, it
yeah.
is excellent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm really, I'm binging it. So whatever. Anyway, yeah,
All right,
great.
let's do the recap, my friend,
Okay.
because your
Yeah,
first
oh my God,
movie,
yeah,
I know, I could talk to you forever. This is what
yeah,
happens. Your
yeah. I
first
know.
movie, The Naked Gun, you said the movie falls short, even though it has some moments. You're down the middle on it. You said one half works, but many jokes just really don't land. And for a comedy, that's no bueno. You say skip it, skip The
Skip it.
Naked Gun. Though
Yeah.
you admit
Ooh.
it's getting rave reviews, you said
Yeah.
skip-a-roo.
I may rue that comment, but yeah,
For Sketch, you called it a wonderful film for children and parents alike. Good guide on how to manage your feelings. Intelligent, you said this is one of the best family movies in years, and
Mm,
you recommended it, surprising even yourself in doing this. Sketch
yep.
is the name of this movie. Is it
Hmm.
in theaters, Sketch?
Yeah, theaters. Yeah, all the
Okay,
movies that we talked about are in theaters except for the classic movie recommendation,
okay.
which is streaming. Yeah.
Together, best horror movie of the year, says Tim Sika. Scary, perversely funny, beautifully shot, great acting. It asks, you said, interesting relationship questions. You had a
Mm.
great time with this movie. You said it's got some gross parts, but it also has a sense of humor about itself. And you recommend Together, especially for horror movie aficionados.
Yeah, and I would see
And
it again too. I would actually see it
wow.
again. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say your classic movie rec of the week is Ordinary People. You said so many great scenes in this movie, great performances, Moore, Sutherland, and Hutton, so good. This film won multiple Academy Awards. You called it a must-see movie that you can find on both Pluto and Prime. So there you
Yes.
go.
Very
Yeah.
good summation, as always, Kim
You
McAllister.
got it. At the movies with Tim Sika. Nicely done, Tim.
Thanks, Kim. Talk to you next week. Have a good
Have the
weekend.
best weekend. You too.
You
Bye.
too. Okay, bye.